Binge eating disorder is now considered the most common eating disorder in the US. It's characterized by eating unusually large amounts in the absence of hunger, followed by feelings of guilt and shame. So in this video, I'm looking at 5 tips to help you stop binge eating and gain back control. Number 1, ditch a restrictive diet. Studies show that overly restrictive eating methods may also trigger binge eating episodes. For example, one study in 496 adolescent girls found that fasting was associated with a higher risk of binge eating. Another study in 103 women noticed that abstaining from certain food groups resulted in increased cravings and a higher risk of overeating. Instead of following diets that focus on demonizing and eliminating whole food groups, instead, your focus should be on your main meals and making sure they are based around whole unprocessed foods like vegetables and whole grains, and swapping out some of your treats for whole fruits, for example. Number 2, clean out your kitchen. Basically, if junk food isn't available to you, then you can't eat it, and therefore you're much less likely to think about it. On the other hand, keeping healthy foods on hand can reduce your risk of emotional eating by limiting the number of unhealthy options. So start by doing what I call an environmental audit, which is where you need to clear out all the junk food that you have readily available to you and swap it with healthier alternatives. Your environment and your surroundings need to support your health goals. Number 3, find someone to talk to. Talking to a friend or peer when you feel like binge eating is a simple strategy that can really help. One study in 101 adolescents undergoing sleeve gastrectomies showed that reliable social support was associated with less binge eating. Another study in 125 obese women found that better social support was linked to decreased binge eating severity. So next time you feel like binge eating, pick up the phone and have a talk with a trusted friend or a family member. You'll be surprised at the relief you can get just by telling someone. It's kind of like flicking a switch and those cravings go away. If you really don't have someone you can talk to, then eating disorder hotlines are available free of charge. Number 4, plan out your meals. This just ensures that you've got healthy ingredients on hand to prepare nutritious meals and minimizes the likelihood that you're going to overindulge in junk foods. Doing this can help you improve your diet quality and make it easier to fit in plenty of fiber and protein-rich foods, which are important for feeling full and satisfied. Meal planning also makes it much easier to stick to a regular eating pattern. So make sure you set aside an hour or 2 each week to plan your weekly rotation of meals. Number 5, seek help if needed. If you're still struggling with binge eating, even after trying some of the strategies I've just mentioned, then it may be time to seek professional help. This can involve different types of therapy or medications to help get binging under control and treat any underlying causes or symptoms. Cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, explores the connection between your thoughts, feelings, and eating patterns, then develops strategies to modify your behavior, and appears to be very useful for binge eating disorder. Okay, so let's recap. Binge eating is an increasingly common issue, and it's characterized by eating unusually large amounts of food, even in the absence of hunger, followed by feelings of guilt and shame. And so not only can it wreak havoc on your body over a long period of time, it can also take a major toll on your mental health and your self-esteem. So if this is you, here are some things you can try. First is to ditch any diets that focus on demonizing or cutting out whole food groups for no particular reason. Instead, first focus on your main meals and aim to make them based around whole, unprocessed foods like vegetables and whole grains. Second is to get rid of junk food in your house. It sounds really obvious, but the fact of the matter is if you don't have junk food available to you, then you won't eat it and you're also far less likely to think about it. Number 3 is to set aside an hour or 2 each week to plan your meals. Meal planning makes it much easier to stick to a regular eating pattern. Last, and perhaps most importantly, talk to a trusted friend or family member and tell them what you're going through. Just pick up the phone, give them a call, or shoot them a message. Talking about it is a really powerful way to flip the switch and overcome the cravings that you have in that moment. There's also free helplines you can call, and of course, don't be afraid to seek professional help either. Thanks for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you found it informative. Don't forget to subscribe to Healthline's Authority Nutrition YouTube channel by clicking the red subscribe button below this video.